All right, I'm Nick, outside in the backyard. I've had a ton of questions about how I rig my kayak for offshore kayak fishing. I'm gonna start at the front, go down the left side, and come back up the right side and show you guys how I rig it every single day when we go fishing. So first off, safety is important, right? You always wanna have a backup plan. So I carry a spare prop. I tie it off to this lid, nothing special. Here is the battery that powers the fish finder. We keep a life jacket in here with a whistle, just in case we need to throw it to somebody, because we're gonna wear our inflatable, and I'll show you that later. Keep a towel in here just for whatever reasons. Keep this waterproof box. Now in this waterproof box, there's a Leatherman, a flashlight, a flare kit, whistle, rope. There are spare shear pins in case we have a shear pin break or anything like that. And a few other random things, okay? It's important to have stuff like that just in case anything happens. You're stuck out there too late, you get lost, or you need emergency help, shoot the flare off, stuff like that. All this stuff just sits back down in here with no problem. Easy to get to, well organized. We also carry the long ruler, just in case we need to unclip it and get a measurement of a big fish, because no one wants to catch a monster and then not know how big it was when you release it. After that, I keep a bunch of water right here, just because it's an easy place to keep it. Let's put this down real quick. Oops, get in there. Keep a bunch of water right there. It's an easy place to keep it. Obviously, you need to stay hydrated while you're out there. I keep my paddle right across through here. Now, a lot of guys like to use this paddle clip. However, I don't like how it stays open and out like this. If a big fish ran through there or you're bumping into kayaks, it'll pop off. I like to be able to get right up next to people with the left side of the kayak and not hit anything or have any issues. Right here in these pockets, obviously we make these replacement parts that remove the plates. I like to have it open so I can set stuff like the swim baits or some extra jig heads in these pockets, and I can get to them real easy. Like this little hook, I can see it without trying to dig in there from an angle. It's easy to remove. Obviously we have a tether right here, so you can tether stuff, so you always have it in the same place, which is nice. In the drive itself, I have a GoPro in there. I keep my sunglasses in there when I first launch, keep them wrapped up in this little buff just to keep them from scratching. I put my cell phone in there while I'm on the water. Super simple stuff. I like to keep the gaff right here around that bar, because it's always it's always there. I know where it is. I enter and exit from the left-hand side of the kayak, so this is always up here, out of the way, sits in the same spot every single day. On the right side, I keep this ceramic knife. Obviously it doesn't rust, does a wonderful job, and it's always in the same spot every single day. Down here by my left foot, I keep the measuring board, just so we can verify if the snapper's large enough, or Spanish mackerel's large enough, or king mackerel. Keep the little scupper plug, all that sand. Obviously we've been offshore every day, right? That holds the measuring board up on the left side of the kayak for me. I like it, works well. Underneath the seat, I keep my rusted, been around forever, Shimano split ring pliers, just in case I need them. Don't use them too often, but it's nice to have them. I keep the D-hookers. Obviously these things are leashed on the RoboHawk leashes. They do a great job, and it's nice to have them, especially for king mackerel, red snapper. They have lots of teeth. You don't want to shove your fingers in there, you might not get them back. This is a life jacket that I've been wearing for the last 2 years. Nothing special, just a little fanny pack. Goes around your waist. You pull that, it explodes. There's also a whistle in there, and you can manually blow it back up after the CO2 runs out. I left one in the garage last year. It stayed inflated for like 5 days, so it works really, really well. Coming down the side of the kayak, we got the Torpedo bait tube. Got some duct tape on there. Used to use vinyl. Skylar was using some Gorilla tape. I decided to redo mine with duct tape because it was kind of breaking in the middle. These things do a good job. They have some problems. Could be a little better, but does store and keep live bait very well, which is nice. Now, behind the seat, I also keep this right here, which is just my Offshore Box. Sabikis, fluorocarbon, some wire, pre-made rigs, stuff like that. It's all in here, well organized, easy to grab and go if we need to retie. I keep this tire checker behind the seat, because if you catch a big cobia or anything like that, you're gonna want to beat them up in the head before you put them in the kayak. So You want to have that back in there. I keep a rod holder right here over my left shoulder. It's very, very easy to put this right here when you're done fighting a fish or when you're rigging your rod and the line is in your lap. This way you know that your expensive rod and reel is not going to fall in the water. Super easy. This is just just put some rods back here. These are the rods I usually go offshore with. Sabiki rod. Then these are both just Saragosas on 6'6" and 7 foot Travalas. They do a great job. They serve me well. On the right side of the kayak, I keep these fish grips back here just so they're easy to get to. Once again, king mackerel, red snapper, everything else, they have teeth. You're going to want to protect your hands. Here, come around this side real quick, honey. Obviously, we have the 9-inch Garmin right here. I was going to go with the 7-inch again, but I walked into West Marine and they had a sale, so I couldn't resist. So we put the 9-inch Garmin right there. It's a 94 SV. Obviously, it's mounted on one of our handles. I like it being close to the seat so I can push buttons while driving with my left hand. I can drive with my left hand, push buttons, figure out where I'm going, make adjustments to the settings if needed, and so on. Super easy. Obviously, still room for a water bottle. Now, if I'm going by myself, I will keep the fish bag across the front of the kayak. We did a video on this. I'll go over it real quick, but I'll put a link above as well so you guys can watch it. You can install this fish bag on your kayak without drilling any holes. There's some coated wire. I did a video on this stuff so you guys can go back and watch it. You just come around here like so. Same with this one. And then the bungees right here just come around and they go under this knob. Easier to do when the pedals are up. Then it'll just sit in place like so. And I've had 20 pounds of ice in there, 3 king mackerels, multiple red snapper with no issues. You don't gotta worry about it going anywhere. And that's that. That is a quick, semi-thorough walk around of the kayak. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm sure there are a few things that I missed. Don't want to spend all day making the video or bore you guys too much. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.